Earlier today, we caught up with one of our new partners here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. We're partnering with TxDot to spread the word about driving safe and driving smart. They have a really cool new promotion coming up here. We talked with Gene Powell of the Odessa district of TxDot. A little earlier, here's our conversation with Gene Powell of TxDot here on Texas Football Today. Dave Campbell's Texas Football has partnered with TxDot to present a very important message to communities across the state. We're going on a wide-ranging tour around the state to spread the message with our friends at TxDot. And here to talk about it is the Public Information Director for the Odessa District of TxDot. We're joined by Gene Powell. Mr. Powell, appreciate your time. I know that this Friday night we're going to be in Pearsall. It's the first of 4 stops on this tour, and that includes places all over the state, including Wink on October 25th, Midland Lee on November 1st, and Laredo Alexander on November 7th. And I know we're going to be bringing with us this cool interactive TxDot tour vehicle. Can you take us into a little bit of what the message is behind this tour?
Well, the message behind the tour is basically be safe and drive smart. We want people to really pay attention to what they're doing behind the wheel. Driving is something that takes 100% attention to do it safely. And when you're out in the energy sector, like we are in the Permian Basin, it is especially important because you're dealing with large vehicles that take longer to stop, take longer to get going, make wide turns, have bigger blind spots. They weigh a lot more, so if they're involved in the crash, it's more catastrophic. So we're trying to teach people how to drive around these large vehicles and to be aware that those vehicles act differently than passenger cars.
And I think people may look at this kind of tour and say, boy, that seems pretty random assortment of places as Pearsall, Laredo, Midland, and Wink. It's kind of some far-flung areas, and there's no necessarily easy way to explain it. But I know that there is a method to this madness. Why these particular places in particular?
Well, you guys at Dave Campbell's have been chronicling high school football for decades now. You know the draw of high school football. So we felt it was a good opportunity to hit some of these places that may be out of the way, but they are also right smack dab in the middle of oilfield territory, whether it's the Permian Basin or the Eagle Ford Shale region. These areas are dealing with the energy sector more so than places like Dallas, Fort Worth. You don't have a whole lot of energy sector activity that permeates the region like we do out in the Permian Basin, in the Eagle Ford Shale, and even the Granite Wash region or the Bossier Shale region. So that's why we picked some of these places to get out where the large vehicles are, where the energy sector is, and where we've seen a lot of the impacts from these vehicles.
We're talking with Gene Powell, the Public Information Officer for the Odessa District of TxDot here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, the hashtag TFToday. I know that this is something you mentioned that we've been in the high school football game for a while, and this is an opportunity, I think, for TxDot to go out there and connect with people where they are. I'm interested from your perspective and from TxDot's perspective, why choose high school football as a way of communicating with these communities?
Well, high school football on Friday nights is a gathering point for most communities. I mean, I'm a graduate of Permian High School in Odessa, Texas myself, so I certainly am aware of Friday Night Lights. Mm-hmm. Going to these events, whether it be a 6A school like Midland Lee and Midland High, or a smaller school like Wink and Pearsall, this is where we can really connect with people. They're there. It's a guaranteed audience for us, and we try to go to places where we can get a lot of foot traffic, get a lot of people involved in our interactive games, spread the message, and the mix of adults and teens is important, because if we can get the adults involved, then the teens realize that this is an important message. And if we get the kids involved, then the parents will stop and think about what they're doing as well. when we've been driving for 20, 30, 40 years, sometimes we get complacent behind the wheel, and these messages are for everyone, whether they're a brand new driver or somebody with decades of experience.
And finally, you mentioned you're out there in the Odessa district for TxDot. You are a Permian grad, and obviously this message is for everybody out there for as far as driving, being safe and driving smart. That said, when Permian plays Lee, I mean, this is a game that you are definitely you are not unbiased in that particular game, correct?
Well, considering I was a Permian cheerleader, it's kind of hard to be unbiased. I'm always going to root for Permian. Funny thing is, both of my sisters went to Odessa High School.
Oh, geez.
I've got a nephew that went to Permian that still owns the district batting championship. I've got a nephew that went to OHS that beat Permian 2 years in a row as a quarterback for the football team. So, I'm familiar with mixed families and having respect for the other teams. But yeah, in my heart, I'm always going to be rooting for Permian.
Yeah. So thanks. What you're saying is at Thanksgiving dinner, there's some deep conversations going on. Is what you're saying?
Well, Christmas, everything under the Christmas tree is either wrapped in black and white or red and white. So that gives you a little indication of what's going on.
He is Gene Powell. He is the Public Information Officer for the Odessa District of TxDot. Dave Campbell's Texas Football is proud to partner with TxDot to spread the word of be safe and drive smart. We'll be out in Pearsall this Friday night for the first of 4 stops around the state of Texas with the interactive TxDot tour vehicle. Mr. Powell, appreciate your time, and let's get Mojo going. We got we can certainly talk about how we need to get the Panthers back in the mix, but we certainly appreciate your time.
Well, I appreciate everything that you do for us. The partnership with Dave Campbell's is an important one for us. We appreciate you helping us spread the message, and you guys be safe out there.
There he is, Gene Powell of the TxDot Odessa District, joining us here on Texas Football today to talk about the cool new partnership we have with TxDot.